Hi, welcome to Told Us Love Tarot. If this is your first time here for any of my videos, I hope you like and subscribe. I just hit 500 the other day, which is a big goal and big monument for me. God, I could connect so many things right now. Like maybe because I'm halfway to 1,000, I was tested so bad, but if you are here because you're here to check out the video that I've just posted some TikToks about that I'd be making, thank you so much for coming over. This is my video about explaining my example of what I believe was an energy transference that led to like a spiritual attack. I have no other way to put it. I've had spiritual attacks before where it's like in my gut, I know that what's happening is, the word principality keeps coming into my head. And then thinking about like I think it's in the Bible where it says like we wrestle against spirits and principalities. We're not ruled, this world isn't ruled by laws, it's ruled by spirits and energy and how it makes people act. And I just posted a picture that I just happened to see an hour later from when I woke up from this dream that I was laying in bed like, oh my God, what just happened? I know someone out there is gonna be like, good Lord, girl, that is crazy and scary as fuck. And I know there's other people who are gonna be like, I've been through something like that. I know what she's talking about. And it was only from talking about things like this with other people and them being like, oh, I have memories like that. Oh, I have memories as a child waking up in the middle of the night and just knowing or sensing in your gut and soul that something was in the room staring at you and like hiding under the covers and starting to say the Our Father because I didn't know what else to do, and then the feelings would go away. I've talked about the placebo effect. Someone out there could be Capricorn, someone very earth sign and logical, being like, well, it sounds like you just self-soothed and calmed yourself down. And yeah, very much so. Could be the placebo effect. I just calmed myself down. But when you start talking to other people and you're like, I felt like something was in the room looking at me, so I started praying because I didn't know what else to do, and then the feeling went away, and they're like, I've been there too, and I've done the same thing, and it worked for me. It's like people sharing weight loss secrets. It's going like sharing your experience and then like someone else saying like, oh, I have a similar experience, I can't XYZ. Or I hope that makes sense to someone, but it's just like opening out, like being open about things you've experienced or struggles, and other people recognizing it as being like, oh, I've been through that too. Like, oh, is that what that's called? I didn't know I was insulin resistant. I thought I just couldn't lose weight. Like, no, there's a whole other thing going on here that if you didn't talk to people who have been through it or who can know how to recognize it like a doctor, you wouldn't know what was going on. I feel like this is why I'm making a video like this, because while there are people who'd be like, she's just a crazy lady. I was asked that yesterday. Are you a crazy lady? And my response was perception. Perception is your reality. You could perceive this as being like nuts, or you could perceive this like how I did and come right out of it knowing that was a fucking attack. And that was an attack because of all the shit that I talked about with my friend last night, and linking like, I want to say social media into this, like evil eye, like people going and looking at your page and like creeping on you, like sending negative thoughts or energy your way that can, especially if they're a really powerful person and they don't even know it, they could be sending bad juju to people. And like it never comes in the form of some, oh, I'm bad juju, I'm here to scare you. It comes in the form of something else that you're supposed to be able to discern and be aware that that is the response, or because of this, and an energy transference, something negative happening over here. After I've spent hours with someone who's going through it, has been through it, was rehashing everything with me of what he's been through, and then I'm having a dream at 3:30 in the morning where it was definitely like it's not lucid dreaming, what are they, sleep paralysis. I was having a sleep paralysis, and I've had that over the years, and I know that feeling, and it's terrible not being able to move. And the only thing that ever helps me is I start saying the Our Father. Well, I've spent hours with this person hearing about this individual that has been in and out of his life, and that person in itself has a bag of issues and is a black hole to energy, is just gonna suck it all up. And I'm hearing this being someone who used to feed people who were black holes, giving them energy, nothing ever makes them happy, there's not enough, you're getting screwed over, why don't you think about the things that I've done for you? I'm like, oh. I'm in such a place now that I see people going through that, and I just like, I pray for them, because it's like, I've been in your shoes, I know what it's like. You can't see your left from your right now, because you are so blinded by the intoxicating manipulation of energy that you've been sucked into by this black hole. So I hear things, he shares things, I understand things better because I'm hearing the truth from him that I didn't know. Hearing things, talking about places and people that I haven't thought about or talked about in years. Just knowing too, in my head and heart, I'm like, he should have never had to go through that. He should have never had to deal with it. He was being taken advantage of, like being this strong energy telling him like, you didn't do anything wrong. That is all a reflection of that black hole and the issues that they have. There's nothing you could have done to plug up that black hole and make it whole again. It's always going to be a black hole. And talking these things out with him, giving my advice to people that I give when it's like, I don't know what else to say, because the situation and the person seems so fucked up, that I end up saying like, those are people you have to pray for. Like, you really need to pray for those people, because if they're acting that way and they're manipulating people and they're using things and being a big black hole, you can't do anything about the black hole. What you can do is pray that someday the black hole recognizes that it's a black hole and thinks about all the people and things that they've swallowed and not given anything back in return. You know what I mean? So after hearing it got to a point where I was hearing so much that I ended up saying, like, we don't have to talk about this anymore, because this individual who was a black hole that I was hearing about, their energy was just, I felt like encompassing me. Like, you know that human feeling of stickiness? I don't even know this person, but the energy from the stories, it was like sticking to me. And I thought, like, you take a shower before you go to bed after you've been out, but I purposely was like, I'm taking a shower to get this energy off of me. I'm wiping off all of the stories that I just heard. Like, I don't want that energy on me. Like, I'm getting rid of the energy. I mindfully did that last night, okay? After I'd spent hours hearing about this shit that I was like, oh God, I could beat a bitch. Like, this is terrible. Oh, God, I mean that in the most joking manner. I'm not a violent person. But I'm just like, how could you be like that? How could you do that? And then empathizing for my friend, because knowing what it's been like to have rose-tinted glasses and not realize you're looking at a black hole. Your glasses are so thick, and the glasses have to break away and things have to happen for someone to be able to see clearly. And he has begun to see clearly and whatnot. So at 3:30 this morning, I know this because when I got up to go to the bathroom, it was 3:33. And I was thinking, isn't that interesting? I'm seeing 333 right now. I was having a dream where the best way to describe it is from the movie Get Out. I don't even know what they call it. It's not like the upside down. It's like the sinking place, the sinking whatever. When he's sinking into blackness, because he's being sucked into hypnosis or whatever. I dreamt that it was like I was standing there and something or someone had like come up the side of me and was pushing me backwards. I felt like I had something right here in my dream pushing me backwards, and I was slowly falling backwards, and I could hear a mumbling over here. I heard like a dark, I don't want to say dark, but it was like a deeper voice. It wasn't feminine. I couldn't understand what it was saying. I had a feeling of, if you've ever gotten this before, it's like vertigo. So I used to get it a lot when I was like younger, but like right before you're feeling like you're falling asleep, you get this sense of like vertigo, and like I used to imagine like the room was moving and stuff, if anybody's experienced that. I was getting that feeling in the middle of the night in my dream, as I was falling in my dream, feeling like I was falling backwards with something mumbling right here that I couldn't see. And in my dream I was thinking like, and that's a whole nother level of inception. I am mindful in my dreams because my dreams are so vivid. I've learned to be like actively mindful in my dreams and be aware, like, I'm dreaming. This isn't real. I'm being chased right now, so let's change the narrative in my dream. I can do that. Anyway, I'm falling backwards and I'm thinking in my dream like, oh, this is something. Something's happening right now. I can't talk. I wanted to wake up and move, and I was realizing this is a sleep paralysis. I can't move. I need to say the Our Father, and in my mind, I couldn't get to saying Our Father who art in heaven, and my phone just made a thing as I said Our Father. Which is like, how could your mind not get there to thinking something? But I pushed in my head and I got to the Our Father who art in heaven, and the feeling went away like that instantly. And I woke up, my eyes opened. I was like, what the fuck was that? I got goosebumps right now thinking about it. But instantly, as soon as I said Our Father, it's like the feeling went away. I struggled, and I've noticed this before too. If I'm coming out of something, I will struggle with remembering that prayer. Now, I identify as spiritual. I will explain that I recognize the power of many religions, their prayers, and just, you don't fuck with people's religions and spirituality because there is power there. You don't disrespect it, you don't desecrate it. So even though I don't practice Roman Catholicism, I don't go to Christian masses, although I talk about Jesus and I know the Bible, a good chunk of it, I still know and use the Our Father. I'm in my head, it's like an Expelliarmus to from Harry Potter to the Dementors, like saying the Our Father like pushes everything, like just stops things, and that's happened more than once for me. I got up, was like, what the fuck was that? Oh my God. Oh. Took some sips of water, laid there. I could have scared myself sick. I don't know what happened, but within minutes, I was in the bathroom sick because, and I was connecting it to that. Like my mind was, something's happening to me right now. Like this is a physical reaction, and I just in there like woke up like having sleep paralysis, thinking like something was mumbling in my ear as I was falling backwards. Like I have a friend who, I don't tell these stories and shit like this to everybody. It's out here now. But these things and these dreams and stuff like that are not unusual to me. Yet, like, not all the fucking time. And God, let's not have that shit happen to me all the time. But like once or twice a year, something like this will happen. When I was younger, definitely a teenager, I would have more like dreams and shit like this of just feeling like something's there, like something. I felt it for a hot second in my room. I was like, something is like, it's too dark in here. I feel like I'm being looked at right now. So, advice I've given to other people, and it does work for me too, is like, and you see it in TV shows, they say it so dramatically, but if you really just say it with stern sincerity, to fuck off. Leave me the fuck alone. Fuck off. And I have found that whatever sense I feel of like I'm not alone, like what is going on, like something creepy, it goes away. Imagine like, granted these are my experiences, knock on wood, but this is like, it's almost like they're skittish, and when they realize that they're being observed or felt or absorbed, you tell them to fuck off, and like the feeling goes away. And I feel like I'm imagining like a little school of tadpoles like splitting as soon as they're know that they're being acknowledged and seen. So I was like, what the fuck was that? Saying out loud, like, fuck off, with my Boston accent over here. And was sick in the bathroom, and then started Snapchatting a friend just to tell him what had happened, because I'm like, I gotta talk about this now, because, and I even said, like, you're gonna think this is, like, you're gonna say this is scary shit, Megan. Like, that is scary shit. And if, I feel like if I didn't have the views that I have and the understanding that I have now, I would have been way more scared. I would have been totally freaked out. But I feel like I'm almost like, it's almost like I don't want to compare myself to a doctor, but it's comparable to me to like someone who's educated in a field, and then something starts to happen to someone close to them or to themselves, and they can self-diagnose. Like, I knew what was happening. This is something that I picked up from being around him and talking to him for hours about all that crazy negative black hole bullshit. I don't know what the fuck is with me right now, but I told it to fuck off. I said the Our Father, and I laid there in bed, and I'm like, and then I saw that energy transference post, which I'm like, this is confirmation from the universe for me, dude. Like 100% I already think it's because I was hanging out with him, and I'm seeing a picture of two people hugging, and it's talking about being absorbing. So if he has negativity around him and sucking on his life form, and then I come along and I'm like dirt off my shoulders. It's almost like I talked about this in the Capricorn reading. So Capricorn especially, you might want to check this out if you're watching it. I describe it as like bugs. Like you could pick up bugs from someone. Energy is the same fucking way. And this is why I knew what the hell was happening to me at 3:30 in the morning. Of course, I had to be within the 3rd hour in the morning. I'm waking up from sleep paralysis, having to like say the Our Father in my brain to get the feeling to go away, and then within 3 minutes, I'm in the bathroom sick. So, needless to say, it's now 7:15. I haven't been back to sleep since 3:30 in the morning. I'm gonna do some heavy saging. I'm not freaking out. It's just more like again, I want to go back to like a doctor, like where other people would freak out, like, oh my God, I have this wrong with my system. The doctor's like been diagnosed with something or recognizes that they have the symptoms and they know what they need to do to start addressing it. I feel like also too, this is a reflection of having so spiritually clean energy around me that I'm even, I want to say even more perceptive to picking up something. I'm imagining right now like a fishing net or someone with a net. If it's full of shit already and you go out and try to pick up something, you're not going to be able to pick up anything. But if you have an empty net and you just dip it in, all of a sudden you're going to pick up a lot because you were already empty to begin with. You know what I mean? I had an empty energy kind of, and this energy just locked right onto me. So if this story kind of resonates with you, like, I've noticed that every time I hang out with Cindy, I have this terrible dream. And then I have terrible, like, depression the next day. I would look more into energy transference. And I'm thinking too right now, I didn't have on, I've worn it on the channel, my evil eye necklace. I have a necklace and I have an anklet. And I last night didn't have either of those on. I didn't have anything with me that was spiritual in nature. And that's something else I'm picking up on and thinking about, because if I'm an empty net and I don't want to be catching other people's bugs, energy, then I need to protect my empty net, because I've gotten rid of the shit energy that's that I was carrying around. Why am I going to carry around your shit? So it's almost like I need to keep in mind, and if that story sounds familiar to you, keeping in mind like wearing some sort of protection. I have obsidian here. I have a bunch of crystals you've seen, but like even for a man or woman, just pop something in your pocket or your bra. I put it in my bra. I saw someone on social media the other day refer to obsidian as their like emotional security obsidian rock that they hold for like emotional support. So if you are someone who's into spirituality, even if you're not, but if you are someone who's into spirituality, just like I promoted with the TikToks, it's not always love and light. It's not always love and light. Sometimes it's spiritual warfare, spiritual attacks, recognizing that you've picked up someone else's juju that's not your own, and negative juju will permeate and it will stay there. And like, I know it's not to me, I'm not freaking out. Like, it's some people be like, holy water, a priest, like, get in there. I'm like, nope, we're just gonna sage. We're gonna do what we need to do. We're going to wash all the laundry, clean up everything that I wore yesterday, and I'll wash it with intention of getting rid of whatever is on it or could be attached to it. Showering off again with intention of getting rid of whatever may have attached. I'm probably gonna clean my sheets. That'll be something else I'll do with intention. I am cleaning whatever energy is in this sheet. And I will open up the window to my room and sage it. And watch, I'll probably sleep like a baby tomorrow night. Please, it was 25 when I looked up and saw that, so I'm gonna take that as a good sign. If this resonates with you, please let me know. I kind of hope it doesn't resonate with you, but at the same time, I hope I offered maybe some ideas for you for going forward if the next time something like that happens. Yeah. Energy transference and discerning or being aware of what the fuck is happening as it's happening.